What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We've got a lot of stuff to do today. We went down and picked up a really cool cherry log from the neighbor's yard this morning. It was down near a fence row. I hope there's no metal in it, but I suspect that there might be. We've got a little metal detector that we're going to try out and kind of see how it works. So we're going to get the log up on the sawmill. We're going to start cutting into it and see what we can find. So here's the log that we're going to be sawing today. It looks like it's going to have a lot of really cool grain, all these little knobs on the outside. I've never seen those before, but I'm sure it's going to make for some interesting stuff on the inside. I'm just going to be using it for epoxy projects, so some of this rot isn't going to be an issue. Down on the other end of the log, it's a lot more solid, so I think we're going to get a lot more solid wood, but we're going to get this thing thrown up on the sawmill. This came from down the road at the neighbor's house. It was just laying next to the driveway, so we got it out of his way, and hopefully we can saw it into some cool stuff. I don't have enough room over here to get the skid steer over here. I'm gonna come in, there's the log right now. I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna drop the log on the saw right here. We're gonna manually roll it down the bed and then flip it 90 degrees and get it up against our stops. So hopefully that works out. All right, we got the log up there. We got it oriented the way that I want. Put a little bit of thought into how you get it sitting on the mill. If there's a big bow or something in the log, you don't want that sticking up, because then when you start sawing, the boards will start lifting up. You'll have a lot of tension in your boards. So we kind of just rotated it until we felt comfortable with how it looked. So now we're gonna get this thing, get the saw head where we want it, and start sawing this thing. All right, so we made the first pass. Of course, we hit metal on the first pass, so now we've got the metal detector out here. We're gonna try and scan this log and see if there's any more metal. Luckily, I've got some more blades, but pretty disappointing on the first pass to hit a big nail.
A triple metal detector.
All right, so we hit something else. We knew there was metal here somewhere. We took a 2-inch pass to try and get down past it. I think we hit another piece of fencing over here. Then up here, we made it to about this point, and we hit something quite big. So we're gonna cut it off here, see if we can dig out what it is. Blade is pretty much shot. It's gonna have to get replaced. So we'll see what we can dig out. All right, so we hit a barbed wire fence. The blade was shot, so I got the blade up on the sharpener. We're gonna touch it up, try again. It'll take about 5-10 minutes for this to go around, and then we'll throw it back up on the saw and see how it works. So our first pass was up here. We hit metal up there. We took another pass 2 inches down, hoping to get below the metal. And as you can see, we certainly didn't do that. We've got metal here. Down here, you can see is a big chunk of that fence, which is still down in there. And then over here, I noticed there's another piece of that fence sticking out. So sharpen up the blade. We're gonna take another pass and see if we can get down below this fence. All right, so here's what we dug out with the metal detector. We got a pile of staples, some big old spikes or pieces of wire, some chunks here that have metal in them. So here's everything we pulled out. We think that's everything except for one little piece that's down in there, but we're gonna try and make another cut and get down a little bit further and then dig that out. So hopefully we've gotten pretty much to the end of our issues with the metal. So we just got the next cut made. We hit no more metal, kind of getting down to some really cool stuff here. All these little holes and areas are gonna look really good with epoxy. Super, super stoked with how cool this log looks. So there's still some metal down in there somewhere. We'll have to dig it out. Actually, it looks like it's right there. I can see the end of the staple right there. And there she is. All right, so we just got the log flipped over. We got a good flat side. On the other side, got it flipped over. Hopefully we're gonna get some nice pieces off the top of this thing. We got a stack of wood over there. I'll show you that in a minute, but got it flipped over. Hopefully gonna have some nice boards on this side. So we're cutting them into 1.5 inch slabs. And on this side, we're starting to get a lot of nice wood, especially for the epoxy stuff. Set that over here. All kinds of cool grain, some neat live edge over here. It's gonna make some pretty nice stuff. You can see on this end, we're starting to get down into some of the rot, but that's all right because we've got the epoxy. Super cool stuff over here near the edge, and we're ready for another cut. So here's everything that we got. A lot of it has a lot of rot, but that's all right because we've got epoxy, some really nice cherry. You can just see that it's got a real nice golden brown color. As this is exposed to the sun, it'll start to darken up. You can kind of see this piece over here has some super dark colors and stuff. And that's what most of this cherry is gonna look like when it gets exposed to the sun. So we've got a lot of really cool pieces. Got some pieces with some really cool like curl and stuff, which are gonna make some neat projects once they're all dry. And this log has been down for a really long time. I'm gonna ask the property owner how long it was down, just out of curiosity, but most of these cherry slabs are between 19 and 30%, which is a lot less than a green log. So hopefully shouldn't be too long before all these things are dry enough to use. Well guys, thank you so much for watching this week's video. It was definitely an experience cutting into all that metal and trying to dig it all out with the metal detector. I'm not sure that we could have done it with the metal detector. And in hindsight, if we had that log oriented any differently on the sawmill, I think it would have been a lot tougher to get all of that metal out. So it all worked out pretty good. We got some really nice boards out of it. I'm going to get these stacked up and drying so that way I'll be able to start using them for projects. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.